Hey, friends, welcome to another episode of the Business of Inner Peace. I'm Erin Jean. I'm a holistic wellness coach, I'm a relationship coach, I'm a retreat host, and honestly, I'm a fellow just soul led mama here to hold space for the real, raw, and radiant conversations that I believe we are not having enough of. So today, I want to talk about something personal and deeply relevant. So many of us are raising teenage daughters, and I think it's a conversation that's needed all around modesty and self expression, and how we as mothers are navigating the tension between culture, conditioning, and connection. So let's get into it. Welcome to the Business of Inner Peace. I'm your host, Erin Jean, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's pretend we're sitting in my living room enjoying a cup of coffee or tea and getting to know each other just a little better. That's what I love. I love getting to hear your story. I love feeling connected by the spirit of understanding that our stories bring. Today, I'm sharing some of my story, but I hope someday soon you'll be telling me yours. Listen, I know that you're feeling overwhelmed with life, and nothing is exactly how you'd like it to be. Your marriage is not what you hoped for. Motherhood is harder than you imagined, and you've lost yourself somewhere in the mix of responsibilities. Well, if you're ready to bring some more peace and joy into your life, reconnect with God who made you, and start living a life you love, then grab your cup of coffee or tea and let's dive into today's show. So here's what sparked this episode. My 16-year-old daughter recently went to a couple of concerts this summer with her girlfriends. And let me tell you, these girls brought the fashion. They put so much thought and effort into their outfits, or fits, as they call them. There was lace, there was potential crop tops and short skirts and shorty shorts, as I call them. You name it. That's kind of what was on the table. And as a mom, yes, I felt the wave of discomfort. There's this part of me that wanted to say, please just wear jeans. But the other part of me remembered my own teenage years and all the messaging that I got about what my clothing said about me. So instead of reacting, I chose to connect. I sat with my daughter and we talked about her outfit, not to shame her, but to understand, and just asking questions of like, why this look? Where did you get it from? And she shared with me her inspiration, and we talked about how does it make her feel, and really like what is the purpose behind wearing it? What is the intention? And she shared with me with such clarity, and really I could see her excitement about the concert, about a cute outfit, her joy, her sense of creativity and fun. And I could see in a way that she felt empowered. And I could also feel how hard it was for me to hold that without wanting to project my own stuff onto her. But here's the thing, some of the other moms or even parents, because there was dads involved in this too, they didn't respond the same way. There was yelling, there was name calling, there was threats, lots of shaming language around, what kind of a girl dresses like that. Straight up, like my daughter's friends were called hookers, prostitutes by their parents. One girl's mom even told her that when men saw her, they were gonna wanna reach out and touch her. So, it's just it's frustrating the languaging and messaging that's going on, and I'm gonna say especially within the American Christian church, because we're battling between these ideas of modesty and honoring God with our body, knowing that our body is the temple of the Most High God. That's what he tells us in his word. But then putting like responsibility of men's thoughts and actions on these girls, on women in general, just feels crazy to me. So, sitting with these girls, especially after the concert, I got to pick them up from one of the concerts, and they were sharing openly and honestly with me about all of this. And in that moment, I just felt this ache in my chest. I wanted to hug each one of them. I did tell each of them that they are beautiful and they are loved. I tried to give the perspective of, where I think their parents are coming from, that even though it doesn't feel like love, it feels a lot more like shame and control. That I believe deep down, it's because they do love their girls and it's making them feel uncomfortable. I think that's where it's all coming from because, you know, it's my heart's hurting not just for these girls, but for us girls as moms because so many of us were taught to be good girls, to stay modest, to keep our legs closed, to dress appropriately, not out of self-respect. I don't really feel like that's where it was coming from, but out of the fear that we would cause a boy to stumble, that we were responsible for the thoughts and actions of men because of what we wore. And we were told this was God's way. So I want to talk about that for a minute because this idea that modesty equals holiness or that showing skin dishonors God, I'm not sure that that's really 100% truth. It feels more like conditioning to me. It feels like a sense of deeply rooted, patriarchy, to use a word that's being thrown around, but it's perpetuated by this cultural version of Christianity that has misunderstood embodiment. And true modesty, it's a heart posture, right? It's not a hemline. It's about intention, not inches of skin. And the God that I know, the God who created us in his divine image, does not shame us for inhabiting our bodies. Women were never meant to be burdened with the emotional responsibility for someone else's lust, temptation, or judgment. That is not sacred. That is spiritual manipulation. And here's the danger. And I'm speaking really openly and honestly about it because I've been part of it. Like, I have repeated some of those words to my daughter that were said to me, and it felt so yucky that I had to pause and really think about this. And the truth is, this is a difficult, super gray area. I'm in no way claiming to have all of the answers here, but I do feel this pull in my soul that it's important that we talk about it and that we talk about it in a different way. And here's the danger that I'm seeing because when we parent from that place, from this manipulation place, we pass it on and we pass on shame. We pass on silence. We pass on the message that you are dangerous in your body and your beauty is a threat. And also, even though we're trying to teach them that their value is in who they are, not in their body, by asking them to cover it up, we're also kind of saying the opposite. We're saying that their value is in their body if we want them to cover it up. It's such a confusing way to have the conversation with our daughters around this. And that's why I'm just trying to push us towards connection and relationship and conversation rather than control. Because when we choose connection over control, we create something radically different. We raise daughters who trust their bodies and who know how to listen to their inner guidance and who dress not for approval, but for joy, for art, for freedom, for themselves, not for boys. I mean, these girls told me so clearly They don't think boys even care about style. They're not even looking for boys to comment on their outfit, that they're hoping another girl notices how cute they are. And we heal ourselves in this process when we honor ourselves and our daughters and we have conversations. It feels so much better than the shame and the yelling and the name calling. I feel like a much better mom when I can sit and have a conversation and ask questions. And I can see that these girls felt loved and cared for, even if we disagreed about how short their skirt was, you know? So for me, this whole experience has just been a wake up call. And it's reminded me that raising a daughter, it isn't just about guiding her, it's about confronting the parts of me that were never given permission to feel beautiful or embodied or safe all at the same time. And it's about choosing to respond differently. It's about learning to lead with love, even when we're scared. It's about breaking cycles of shame and replacing them with wisdom and empathy and truth. And maybe most of all, it's about community. And that's exactly why I've created a brand new Facebook group for women that are just like you and me. And this group is just, it's so important to me because I feel like it's a beautiful space in which we can have meaningful conversations. So I've named it the Purposeful Moms Collective. And I want to invite you to come into this space because I want it to be a space for real conversations, just like this one. Conversations about motherhood, about womanhood, about spirituality, about faith, about healing and rising. I want this group to be a soft place to land where we can unpack the deep stuff, where we can question the messages that we inherited, where we can step into our next season as a more whole, more free, more fully ourselves. Because, sister, you are not alone and you are not meant to figure it out by yourself. God created us for relationship. So, today I want to leave you with this. What if we stopped asking, is this outfit appropriate? And we started asking, is this response aligned with love? What if we stopped punishing self expression and we started healing the wounds that make us fear it? And what if the next generation of women didn't have to unlearn the same things that we did? That's the world I want to help rebuild. And I'd be honored to walk that path with you. So the link to the group, it is in the show notes. Or, of course, you can go onto Facebook and you can search the Purposeful Moms Collective and you'll find us there. I do have a few questions for you to answer because I want to make sure that the people that are in that group are intentional and they're ready to hold the space and have the conversations. So we'll be there. We'll be waiting for you. And of course, as always, I just want to thank you for listening to another episode, for being someone that's passionate about having deep and meaningful conversations with me. And I can't wait to have another one. I hope you have a very, very blessed day. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you're feeling blessed by the content here, the number one way you can show me is by leaving me a written review of the show. I'd be forever grateful. Knowing that you're out there listening helps me know that I'm truly living out God's purpose in my life. The other thing you can do is take a screenshot of this episode, share it with a friend, or better yet, tag me on your Instagram stories. Remember, you are seen, known, and loved. May God richly bless you today. All my love, Erin Jean.